As a tribute to Ray Anderson, I'll borrow his method of introduction. My name is Lindsay James. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 children, one of whom is here with me at the Monte Lucia, so you may see her strolling around. And I'm a business person, or an industrialist in Ray's words. And like most of us at Interface, I'm a radical industrialist. And I'm radical because I believe that love is a very important aspect of business. And I also believe that nature offers a boundless source of inspiration for innovation, for products and processes, as well as our organizations. And that's going to be my topic today. How would nature design an organization? And if you follow GreenBiz, you are familiar with biomimicry, conscious emulation of nature's genius. And a lot of the stories that you may have read about on GreenBiz about biomimicry are product-based innovations, such as vaccinations that don't require refrigeration based on the tardigrade and its ability to go into deep hibernation, or self-cleaning services based on the lotus leaf. And at Interface, we have enjoyed tremendous success based on biomimicry-inspired innovation of our product carpet tiles. We learned that in nature, design is random. Floors, for example, if you look at a surface in nature, it's random. No 2 pieces are alike. And so we've been able to emulate that and completely change the way we manufacture carpet tiles so that no 2 carpet tiles are identical. And it's been incredibly successful for us and also resulted in reduced waste in manufacturing as well as for our customers. But what about organizational design? What can we learn from nature in terms of understanding how to better design our organizations? How would nature design an organization? And in one word, if nature were to design an organization, it would be resilient. In nature, disturbances like fire or global climate changes are common. And life has survived and thrived on this planet for billions of years in the face of disturbance. So what can we learn from that? And why do we need to learn that? How common are disturbances in our own economies and organizations? And we've recently have come through a very great disturbance, of course, with the global financial crisis. So what happens in nature when there's a disturbance? This is a picture of the California chaparral ecosystem after a recent fire. And you can look at it and say, well, where's the forest now? What happened to the system? Where's the forest? And if you go back just a year later, this is what that same area looks like after the disturbance of a fire came through. So how does nature do this? What is the key to this kind of restorative power that we see? And ecologists have been studying this for decades. Buzz Holling is the ecologist that really started the study of what's called the adaptive cycle, or how nature goes through change. When we look at this, there's so much information here and there's so much to share. But the main thing to look at here is that there's a pattern. There's a cycle. We know there's a cycle. You can go from disturbance to reorganization, rapid growth, and conservation or maturation. And this happens again and again in nature, and it happens at many different levels, from the cellular level all the way up to much bigger cycles that we see on the planet. And so what I think is amazing about this is that sustainability in nature is an illusion. This idea of homeostasis, it's not a status quo. Homeostasis in nature is a balance of disturbance and regeneration, and it's because of resilience that nature and life has been able to thrive on this planet for billions of years. So what can we learn from this? What can we take from this and adopt to our own organizations? And the most important thing that I'd like for you to take away from this is that it's about the seed bank. And there are many different aspects of resilience in nature, but this is one that translates really well. And that's, as you go through a disturbance, what will guarantee whether or not you can survive, your system can survive, is whether or not you have the information preserved in the system. Do you have seeds planted? Do you have a seed bank that will allow the DNA to survive a disturbance? So your infrastructure may change. All of the biomass, all of the trees, everything might change. But if you have a seed bank, a healthy seed bank, that's what will ensure the survival of the system. So we can start to ask this question about seed bank and looking at disturbance. And we can look at financial disturbance as well. This is Interfaces, my company's operating income. And you can see that we've weathered our own disturbances. 2002, after Y2K, the dot-com bubble, 9/11, our operating income dropped by half. It was a very big disturbance. And it was at that time that we began to ask the question, what is core to our company? What is the most essential aspect of our company that we want to consciously cultivate to be perennial? And again, looking at 2008. So we understand that when we present our forecast to Wall Street of steady growth, that's an illusion in a lot of ways. We live in a world that is ripe with disturbance. So how do we begin to design our organizations to embrace that and actually be able to thrive in the face of disturbance? And when we think about how do we intentionally navigate this curve, going from growth to disturbance, back to growth again, what is it that we want to embed intentionally within our organization so that we can continue to survive? And so we've been asking this question at Interface, and for us, it's our culture. That's our first answer. We want to be able to consciously cultivate our unique culture. We have a very unique culture at Interface, which is, of course, grounded in Ray Anderson's leadership. It's all about our vision of becoming a restorative enterprise, reinventing commerce, and we are united in that collectively. And that's a very important aspect of our culture. There are other aspects of our culture as well. We're pioneering. We have a tenacious entrepreneurial spirit. And as we continue to grow and our organization changes, we need to remind ourselves, what is it that we want to take with us as we grow and change? And that's one of those elements, having a pioneering spirit. And we also have given ourselves permission to care deeply. You won't find an apathetic person in my company. We care deeply about each other. We care deeply about our company. We care deeply about our customers and our communities and our planets, and that's very core to who we are. It's part of our DNA. It's perennial. And so that is what we're cultivating in terms of our seed bank. We know we may change. Our product may change. Our product has changed many times. We've acquired companies and then divested. We continue to change as a result of our environment changing and our marketplace changing. But what do we want to stay the same, and what do we want to plant so that we can regenerate? And we're also planting other seeds. For example, we're investing in the ability to take old carpet and recycle it into new carpet. So why would we do that? Well, it's looking at the seeds that we want to plant for the future when resources like petroleum, which is what carpet's made from, may be very scarce. So we're understanding, how do we plant seeds today that will be more adaptable for future disturbances? And as we take a step back and we start to look at this more from a society perspective, we're reaping the harvest. We're harvesting the seeds that we've planted in the past. So it's a very interesting time right now for our society to think about, what seeds have we planted, intentionally or unintentionally? And then thinking about today and all of us involved in green business, what seeds do we want to continue to plant for the future? And so while it may be radical to invest in having a corporate grandmother to enhance our strengths-based culture, or the capacity to recycle carpet, even though petroleum-based plastics are still abundant and cheap, creating resilience and the capacity to be restorative means cultivating a seed bank that may be unnecessary today, but will allow us to thrive in the face of disturbance. And so I invite you to consider looking to nature for guidance and understanding that this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what we've been studying at Interface for how to cultivate resilience by studying nature's models and beginning to question, what is sustainability? What is sustainable business? And is there even such a thing as sustainability, or is it resilient and restorative business? So it's very exciting to be here to share this with you today, and I do hope that I'll have a chance to speak with you later about biomimicry and what it can generate for innovation for the organization. Thank you very much.